needs to put Sinatra in a real man.
What the rock is cooking.
Recording live from 3 locations. This is Past the Rock. I'm Patrick, and as always, I am joined by 2 great men. Caesar, aka LC's.
I forgot how many fingers to hold up, like it's that bit from Shrek 1.
Number 3,
my lord!
And we're also, of course, joined by the return of Jacob, aka Bethke.
And I've been in 1, not 2, but 3 apartments since the last time that we've spoken, I believe.
Not 1, not 2.
Yeah, I was hoping not to make it any more than that, and hopefully, cross our fingers, we found the place that we'll be in as long as we're in Dallas or get a house, whichever comes first.
Okay, so wait. So you moved from the old place, you got to the new place and didn't like it, then you had to leave town, right?
Oh yeah, not even didn't like it isn't really the way I would.
I know.
I'm talking about it, but
that was a little cat
no,
a little bit. It wasn't gonna work.
Yeah, so we found a great neighborhood that kind of fit everything we needed. You know, we're still trying to get through her finishing her school, me restarting school probably within 6 months to a year. So we weren't trying to go an extra $200-$300 on the rent like some of the places around us. This place is also even located better. It's just one of the oldest complexes in this little part of
I'm just trying to get the chronology of.
Yeah, so basically we wanted to move away from the medical districts where we lived, and we wanted to be out where you could drink a little bit, walk to some stuff, have bodies of water, man-made bullshit, but something to walk by, nature trails. So we found a suburb, not to dox myself, we've just found a suburb not too far away where you can do all those things very easily. And it's very affordable rent too. It's nice. If you're in Dallas, you're probably maybe aware of it. It does coincide with my trip a little bit, ironically, as in some of the stores that I could shop in there are actually easy to find in my surrounding area.
They've got franchisees around here.
There's some franchisees going on. There's definitely some differences. But yeah, so we made the move. We knew it was going to be fine. We scheduled it. We knew it was going to be crazy, but we could get all of our stuff in and at least cool. My sister was going to come stay, watch the cats in the new place and enjoy kind of the amenities and shit that we just got into. Well, joke's on us. We move into a place because we think these people are burning and turning. That is just incredibly roach infested. Like, not a little bit roach infested, not like, oh shit, I mean fucked up. Like fucked up. Like, we cleaned the cabinets and shit, there was the fucking shit all over, it was a bad situation. And we were able to handle ourselves to where, like, we isolated the issues, we had them spray shit or whatever while we hid the cats, and then hid our stuff basically in what would have been my office, slash where we're at now in that apartment, and basically left everything boxed. Made it simple and easy for my sister, who's still like a champ, stuck it through, and I think most of it was fine, enjoying our time with the cats. And so yeah, we end up going and doing all this bullshit, and then we go to India, and it's beautiful and it's awesome, but then the whole time we've got this like apartment issue that we're obviously dealing with the front office, and I'm not going to pretend like we were handling it. We were very nice about it, but we were very firm as well.
Yeah.
And so
I would have been rude.
Cool. Long story of short, they were very cool. We end up in a better place in the same complex. We get to check it obviously first. It's perfectly fine. I mean, there's like this old house bullshit I want to do to it if we're going to be here for a while, but nothing that needs to involve actual bugs in the unit yet, just prevention of issues in the future. So we love that. It's a better place, actually, better view. We're on all kinds of other things. But that shit was fucking awful and not fun to do. And so I'm very thankful that I'm in this room and it looks as if you, the viewer, is seeing a beautiful finished apartment. This is a fallacy. This room is finished. None of them otherwise are finished. It basically still looks like a...
I've been here like 15 months and it still looks about like it did the first week I got here in this room, which is kind of set up, kind of not.
It's so I say this to anybody who has work from home, they'll probably relate. It's not the easiest mental task you can take on yourself. And you wouldn't think it, but like it's just there's a lot going on. So if I would ever tell anybody anything, it's to make sure you have like functionality and like your shit together because it's basically your office at all times, right?
Right.
And so like it's better for the brain. Obviously, getting the fuck out of your apartment is the best thing you can do for it. But that's really the best thing is like
Touch grass, brother.
it was so touch grass if you work from home. So touch as much, and that's why we live near all the grass in the world now. So not all of it, but as much as you get in a metropolitan area.
I was gonna say we do live in a
Yeah.
like a strip mall desert. So
Yeah. And this one's not quite a desert yet. In fact, I think this one is going to be revitalized pretty well in the future. But so we're excited about it for now, and I'll be bitching in a year and a half under jacking my rent up and shit. But we'll get to that when we get to it. India.
I think next on the list is the Epstein. Whoa, sorry, India.
Well, we can get to that. Pablo Torre might be on the case. Did you guys watch the pigeon hunting episode?
Yes.
Okay, you did your part. That's all that you can do. But no,
I have not yet.
So the trip to India, I wanted to have way more of a celebration for. I was hoping to wear a kurta, which is just a t-shirt. There's a lot of versions of kurtas. So you can have like a really nice formal dress one that's very exuberant, or you could have like a very casual one, which I bought a few of. They're fucking amazing. They're super comfortable, especially for the heat. But like I said, with this apartment chaos, I just got a washer and dryer again like 3 hours ago. So it's going to take a while. But that was a great time. I highly recommend
That is not. I don't know. For some reason, I thought that word was going to be like a G and some H's in there.
Oh, Kurta? No, yeah, it's just KURTA. Right? Yeah. Very chill, just like it's a generic shirt. They can look in a lot of different ways. Yes, I would compare how the dress ones are very long. They should be long.
Is that mostly what I'm saying?
The formal ones. But the casual kurta is really honestly about the same length as like a fucking PFG shirt you see dads walking around in America.
Yeah, okay. I'm seeing some more. I'm seeing some less
and trust me, you're gonna
looking ones.
Yeah, you're gonna fucking love some of the one. I got one that's like orange and white that would go well with some of the Texas shit I got. It's some really fun ones. So they have a lot of fun colors and patterns that you don't get. Some of these stores are here, like Manivar and Fab India, but like those places are a little pricier here because shipping and well, now I don't know if India's getting hit with that bad, but you know what I mean.
Oh, you just never know. There's a lot of stuff.
I think we're cool with it. I think Vance did one for the in-laws. I don't know. But
I feel like there was one specific one I saw today concerning India, but
it's always possible. It's literally like the hardest job in the entire planet right now to track that because it's just like
well, cause there's shooting from every hip possible.
So
at all times.
So we go to India. That's a 15-hour flight to Dubai. At least how we did it. It's Emirates, so it was very comfortable and nice. Very expensive, but it was very comfortable and nice. All the movies you could see. I think I crushed both. I caught up on the Avengers and watched like 3 music documentaries, including one on the Sonics, which is like the underground punk band that kind of is one of the originators. I was really just shocked that was on a mainstream flight. It was an incredible one, super niche, but the planes are low-key really good with the music documentaries. Like they also had the Meet Me in the Bathroom one, which is like all about like the Strokes, the Yeah Yeah Yeahs, and like LCD Sound System and groups like that coming up in New York. It's just really like niche ones you wouldn't quite think you would want to watch. And then they also have like Zeppelin, shit like that. So I crushed some of those. Didn't sleep a lot on the 15 hours there. Probably got like 3-4 hours of like crap sleep in and out towards the end. Dubai was interesting. The airport was beautiful. Flying in, I would compare it to like looking down at like Roller Coaster Tycoon or some shit, or like Sim City. Like it doesn't look like a normal place. Like anywhere else I've ever been where there's just a lot of industry or suburbs or whatever, all this just evolution. It's all new. It's basically just rich man makes plot, rich man makes plot, rich person makes plot, rich person makes plot. And so there's like not a lot of public shit and stuff, so that's always kind of funny. Um, yeah, it was a weird place. I'm not gonna pretend like I saw all of Dubai because we just went in and out of the airport, or we were just in the airport. But flying into Dubai was pretty crazy. We also were doing, you have to fly through Iraq, which is dead center between Israel and Iran, and so that was also playing out.
I mean,
Not but a day before we
I guess the
left.
good news is if something happens to your plane and it kills you, like you don't want to live after the world after that U.S. a U.S. plane
Yeah,
shot down over there.
which is more or less how I was able to talk. I don't know if my mom actually felt better after this conversation, but this is what I told her. I was like, "Look, I mean, they would like fucking
That's it.
and it's Emirates flying into Dubai, so you're gonna shoot like a Saudi company's plane down with a bunch of like Americans in it. You're Indian nationals, like India's not a small country without power, especially if they're chummy with the Americans right now. So it is just one of those things where I didn't feel that unsafe. You also like, unfortunately, missiles are usually early mornings times, so I think they all obviously like could navigate where we were flying and how we were flying, but ultimately that wasn't a part of our problem, but it's still a part of a lot of people's problems. So I don't want to undercut that, but yeah, so that was just a hectic thing to actually do, but it was cool. Flying back was a little more interesting because we got to see the Arctic. Like we were asleep. It was nighttime when we flew over the Arctic the first time. It was daytime when we flew over it coming home. That was probably one of the craziest things I've ever seen. More than Dubai,
Can't even fathom.
more than I mean, it's what you think it is, but
Ice.
but
Ice and water.
it's actually like terrifying in my opinion to see that much of it. You know,
It's humbling, yeah.
yeah. It's like
If there's anything a lot of people in the world need, it's a little bit of humbling.
bro, yeah,
A little perspective.
I would say that was the best part of the trip. So we went to Delhi, where
The best part of the trip was flying over the Arctic.
No. The best part of flying,
Oh, okay.
I would say, yeah, the best part of flying. We
like,
did
you must
upgrade.
have not enjoyed India very much.
No. We did upgrade into the like business, not like first class where you have like the ability to lay down, but you get like a recliner in this one. And so we did upgrade on the way home. So we were also flying over the Atlantic, big chilling. Still couldn't sleep very well. Your boy's a little too big for the plane even then. But it was better, much better. So if you ever had the ability to do that one, not still the first class is insane. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
five G's.
I saw what I'm assuming is just the super nice ones that they had on Ted Lasso when he's flying to
The pods and
England,
shit.
and it's like, yeah, I was like, I'll be so disappointed when I get on just a regular old airplane to go somewhere.
And the big positives of flying is I feel like I could do England way easier. We were in England quickly. As far as I was concerned, it was the fact that it was like, oh shit, now we have to go through all of Europe and the Middle East. Fuck. Oh
Yeah. How long was that flight again?
15. Okay, so 15 to Dubai, basically 3.5 to Delhi, where we went, which is North India.
Hey.
North India.
Yeah, that's a long travel time, bud. Oh.
It wasn't easy, but it was easy at the same time. Like I think that the planes are bigger. It's a little there's more amenities. The food kind of not so great. I wouldn't say be careful what you eat. I would load up at the airport. But yeah, I mean you have
what?
Food. Yeah, drinks are good. I mean
on the plane. Sorry, I got you.
Yeah, if you want to get tossed on the plane, you definitely have the ability to do that and sleep better that way. It's not for me, but if you want to do that. It's obviously a possibility.
I'll get drunk before I get on the plane, making that process awful.
Yeah, so that's the difficult part is you want to be careful because like I'm pretty sure you could just pretty much booze it up the whole way for the most part. I mean, I'm sure there were certain hours or whatever, but yeah, you're pretty cool to booze.
No TABC in the stratosphere.
Exactly. I would say
quite that high. I don't really know the layers of the biome that well.
I would think my last thing about the airports and flying is basically two things. The Indian police military definitely profiled me a lot going through TSA, which was hilarious. But it was funny. It wasn't like in a bad way. They were just very like, we just have regular TSA, right? They have like military guys doing this. And I think it's just naturally more serious than what we have at TSA, even though I know you think like we joke about how TSA is. But like TSA,
I mean, theirs are actually doing something.
Yeah, like you get might be a little more serious about it than
They're not
TSA. Like
they're not customer service at Walmart.
yeah, like their job is like, this is more like an entry level military gig, right? Or low ranking military gig. So um, I was cool with it and all, but it was just funny just to have that happen. I thought you guys would get a kick out of that. They just made me like empty out my entire bag, like all the chargers and shit. It was and then I had so we did henna at one point, and I did a
Death
like
to the IDF.
no, I put I put my fiance's name on my wrist, or had them do that, and so the guy looked up. But I mean, you know, if he knows how to read Hindi, it says her name, and she was like right there with me, so that wasn't a big deal. But it was funny nonetheless. Yeah, that was great. I shaved my head in the process, so I kind of looked like a Krishna the whole time I was there. Um, but that was well worth it. The hair's still coming back slowly, but it was well worth it for how hot this 3 weeks has been. India itself is really cool. Like I said, we were primarily in Delhi, or we were in Delhi the whole time, or Noida to be exact. So Delhi is more of a metropolitan area, like we are here. The airport is like an hour away from Noida, so it's a little bit more of an expansive area that Delhi covers than like DFW does. But I wouldn't say it's too different from getting off of DFW and going up to Frisco now, right?
Okay.
So that was kind of what it was. Traffic's a little more chaotic there, like in terms of population. So when we came back, it actually took us like almost 2 hours to get to the airport. It was realistically like an hour drive. Traffic is probably the biggest thing that you would probably have heard about India. I don't know if you guys have any sort of familiarity with that.
I know that
If
they
you
don't
see
stop
videos.
for anything.
So they do, but
It
there's
looks more like it looks more fluid, and I think once you're comfortable in it, I bet it's great. But it seems like chaos, but it also just kind of reminds me of watching Bugs, and it's like they travel pretty efficiently. So
yeah, exactly. And I think the funniest part of India to me is that they maintain the street like lines because no one pays a goddamn attention to the street lines for the like at least the divider ones, right? Like people are mostly paying attention to some of the other stuff. But a lot of the rules are broken for sure, like stopping to reverse when you miss an intersection. That was really common. But it was organized chaos, is what I would call it. It was really wild to take in, given what we do in America. But at the same time, it flowed so much smoother than I ever could have imagined.
Yeah.
And it was
one wreck doesn't shut everyone's day down by half an hour to an hour.
Exactly, that's a great one. I would say the funniest thing about it is like it's like everyone's playing a game of chicken, except for they all like have this self awareness to know when they're the chicken. You know what I mean? And I think we were driven a lot. We were fortunate enough for families in the military, so we had like a driver come pick us up that was for the family and take us. Nothing too fancy, but you know that's nice to have like your own car to kind of take you to and from. And so the guy was driving the whole time, and he was really good at it. But the whole time he's driving us to all these little variable spots in Delhi and Noida, he basically, I see one person the whole time get mad. One person driving the whole time get mad. Everyone else is just big chilling, like just game is the game, locked in. I was impressed. I was stunned. I got videos of it. I wasn't able to like come up and show you guys yet, but the intersections are funny. You know, like I said, it's just a game of chicken. I experienced a little of that in Mexico City, which isn't too dissimilar.
So yeah, I was gonna mention what's his name, Fluffy Gabriel Iglesias. Is it Gabriel Iglesias? Fluffy, comedian. Yeah. He has like a whole bit, an extended bit about how similar India and Mexico are. It's pretty damn good and worth visiting.
I would love that because that's something that me and my fiance have gotten more understanding on. And she's she's an LA girl, right? So she's obviously still had to live very similar like we in Texas in a multicultural world with a lot of Spanish history. And so like she also quite understands these funny things and how like even the food and stuff, like there's just slight differences, but there really is a lot of similarities in how all of this goes. Yeah, they even make jokes about it in India that Mexico's a similar country to them. So I didn't think about that either, and it seems like something you might get called racist for in certain ways. But I promise that there's actually a lot of meat on that bone. Like it's food, it's culture, there's a lot of things.
Well, since
that are
I've been
based
to
on.
neither, I can just wildly speculate.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna need to go to India then, so I can confirm this.
Right, and the other important thing about the similarities with those two countries is they're very big places. So, like, I've been to Delhi. I know what Delhi looks like. South India is an incredibly beautiful tropical place that we're trying to go to eventually. That's a completely different thing. Delhi, I thought, was New York City for them, right? And that's basically what it is. The only thing that's different is if you've ever been to New York, there's tall buildings as far as you can go. Like the smallest buildings you're getting are like 3-story townhomes, right? Um, so like that's from the moment you get in JFK to the moment you get to downtown Brooklyn, Queens, wherever you're going in that whole metropolitan area, you're surrounded by tall buildings. I would say in Delhi, it was more spaced out. Delhi, Noida, because that was sort of the point, like why Noida exists. And I think there's another part, I don't know what that was called, to where those were like that. But like,
Faridabad.
maybe.
I'm just looking at a map.
Yes, that's very possible if they're in that if they're in that region. I basically just flew into the Gandhi airport, where I think
Indira Gandhi
Yeah, exactly.
International Airport. I'm looking at that.
That one's really cool because there's like giant gold namaste
Not too
symbols.
far from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, actually. So.
Oh, no shock there.
No,
But like that's a funny thing about it. There's plenty of Christians there, and there's Hinduism is not a very combative religion, so there's plenty of people there. Obviously, other than that,
did you guys check out Fun and Food Water Park?
Definitely not. Definitely no. We spent
it's about 5 minutes south of that airport.
We will obviously be going back plenty. This was like a certain like family trip so basically we more or less got formally, I wouldn't say formally married, but we more or less held what is going to be our marriage ceremony in India. It wasn't really much to do with me or my fiance at all. It was more of a welcoming to the family thing. I've got a flip book that's really funny with it. I don't know if there was a video recording of it. But basically, like my brother-in-law and I had to do a puja ceremony, which is getting on the thing. We get the thing on our face. We get the rice on there. He was born, I think, in India, but he's been here his whole life, right? He's very American, and so he was also not aware that he was going to be doing any of this. So he actually had like 4 or 5 drinks before he realizes that he's actually going to be the other person doing the ceremony with me.
All right.
And so you get all the brothers, right, in the situation, which is your cousins, right? So including your cousins. So all of her male cousins are up there with me, and they're on the other side of me, and I'm on the opposite side of them. And so one of them was just like, lock in, bro, lock in. And like Ricky at one point knocks the rice over. At one point he gets the red paste is like on his suit or on his the nice Indian suits that we had gotten. So it was a little funny, but everyone in India is so used to this ceremony that most of them weren't paying attention. Like immediately family were, but
it's novel to you, but they've
yeah, exactly. What's his name? I forget. The guy that does the puja. He was fucking hilarious. He was like peace signing it up. He was fucking having a ball with it. He was laughing. I will say the one thing that's hard is so you basically sit on a couch and a bunch of people like come and take pictures with you while you're like in the formal dress. The hardest part is like part of it is you have to like eat this little sweet ball, and it's a really delicious sweet ball, but it's such a succulent and big, thick like sweet ball that by like 10 or 15 it starts to become like
dough.
Fuck, I don't want to lie on what it is exactly, but it's just it's like a candy sweet, similar to a donut hole, but it's got a lot of color all over it. It's got a lot of like sweets and shit all over it.
Jamun.
Similar to that, but very similar looking to that, but it's got a bunch of like hard candy around it or something.
Okay.
And so yeah, people are like hand feeding you that. That's like the thing. They're like, here, this is welcoming you to the family, and it's good, but it's also just a heavy thing to do.
I don't like being fed.
Oh yeah. That was. I mean, it's a lot of differences. Like the caste system is a thing there. So her house that we were staying at, and you don't get hotels, you stay with the family.
You yourself had to stay at the lowest level while everyone else was above you. You had the Harry Potter closet.
No. Well, that's the thing, though. So it's rude to stay at the hotel with family that you're staying when you're visiting family. So all of us were piled into a house.
Yeah.
And let me just try to give you guys the numbers here. So you have the grandparents who own the house in their room. You have the Canadian family that's part of it. That's 2 people and their 2 kids. They're in a room. That's 2 grown boys as well, both like high school, college kids, right? You have a grandmother and grandson whose grandkid is just out of high school. So all of them are piled into the first floor, and then on the second floor, and on the second floor, you have me and my fiance, her parents, her brother, her aunt, and her niece, or her cousin, all in another room. And then you had the uncle and his lady in the other room upstairs.
9.
So
right.
All that, and then,
17 people.
And then the help that works there, I think some of them have quarters on the 3rd floor, and there's like 4 or 5 people that work there. So that was an interesting thing. It was a very communal thing. We had to shop a lot for our.
So wait, in the caste system, you go higher when you're on a lower caste?
I don't know exactly what all that was. I don't know how exactly it formulates. I'm just
basically. Are you on the 2nd floor because you're like?
No. That has nothing to do with where you are in the house.
Okay.
No, that's just convenience of ease. There's it's very normal, right? Like it's they're a military family, so the grandfather was in the military for a while. It's his house, him and his wife's house. They've got the people that work for them. The uncle stays with them because they're older in age. The uncle's out of the military as well, lifetime military guy. He's turned like one of the rooms into a bar, extended the patio, like doing the whole divorced dad thing at 50 something, I think, or something. Really cool dude, like ponytail guy. Absolutely hates America for their politics. Literally can't stand it. Like wouldn't even talk about it with us. Loves Western movies and dresses like a cowboy.
Hell
One
yeah!
of the more interesting people I've ever met in my life. Smokes cigarettes all day long. Like I said, built a bar in his house. Loves golf. Couldn't be more American and hates America, which I think in my heart makes you a little more American. That's kind of part of the thing. So I was really, that guy was fun. Like I said, the rest of the family was really fun to get to. We had to do a lot of shopping for the wedding, so like it was chaotic. I was traveling around doing a lot of things, and it was just one of those things where it was a really great time. I experienced I got to meet the family, the extended family that's all there, so that was really important. Now that that's kind of over, when we go back, I'll do more touristy shit, which is kind of how I've always done things. Like when I went to New York, it was with the bachelor party, and it was like, cool, let's do whatever y'all want to do. I'm going to absorb, and then next time I'm here, I'll start being like more touristy about it. Like, oh, I got to see this, I got to see that. Because I think like going to a place, trying to absorb it, and then do the touristy stuff it makes sense because people try to get the bang for their buck. But I really don't think it helps you. I think it kind of makes the place just seem like a music park to you, where it's like you kind of go and you live in it for a little bit, and then you come back and be a little more touristy, and you kind of get to experience, I think, for the fun of it, and also, for the first time seeing something that most of these people take for granted, and also sort of taking it for granted yourself because it isn't the first time you've been in that area. Yeah.
Did we do?
That's nice.
So I'm guessing we didn't do Taj Mahal.
No, Taj Mahal is a big event. Yeah, you got to take a whole day out of your schedule for that one for sure. I didn't even get to go to the Red House, which is right down the road, more or less.
The Red Fort, is that what it looks like it's called?
They called it the Red House, but yeah, I'm sure it's technically called something else.
Well,
they were making a joke.
This is the Google translated on the map, so Red Fort looks cool. That looks straight up like Legend of Zelda Castle.
No.
Yeah. I did want to go see that.
Not to detour your trip here, but I want to circle back to her military family.
Mm.
Because I have a question. Because when I found this out, I was like, this is one of the more fascinating things I've ever heard of. And I want to know if you knew this at all from anybody that's in her family, that's been in the military, if anybody in the family served on that India-Chinese border, I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but India and China have units that are on this particular border, and they solve all disputes by throwing hands. No guns. They just
Oh,
sticks and fists.
that's funny. I've heard
And
of this, but no,
and they
I
just beat the
definitely
shit
didn't
out of
talk
each
about
other.
that.
Okay, okay. I
No,
was just like, if
I
you
will
know anything
definitely
about it,
remember to
that would
ask
have
that
been
next time. But
fascinating.
no, I mean, because maybe it's different stations, so that would be northwest, right? And Delhi, Noida is northeast, more or less. So it's at least in that quadrant. Um, it's still pretty far away from like Kashmir and like Pakistan, where obviously shit's popping off. If you're a worldly motherfucker, you might have heard about some shit about that. But that that whole situation is, I think, a little bit more for their history stuff. Like I don't know a lot of it, but I'm pretty sure her grandfather has gotten a picture close to the Pakistan border, and so yeah. I mean, look, India military is military, guys. So you know, uh, we know how that goes. India has been a country on many sides of the equation for how old they are, right?
Yeah, no, I got it.
But very peaceful, fun people. A lot of them, no doubt. It is very unfortunate to see a lot of the way that people portray India for being sort of slummy. When I think that the reality is the same things exist here, but they're sort of separated, right? Like LA, they'll just throw them all under a underpass, more or less. Here, people who are very impoverished, or in India, people who are very impoverished are living not too far away from people that are, because they're usually selling stuff on the side of the road, whether it be fruit or whatever. Like there's just a lot of
You're saying Steph
work
Curry
to be
would not
done.
want to live in India.
Oh yeah, no, the NIMBYs would not be okay with the way that India's set up, and I don't know, maybe people in India also have a problem with it, but people exist well. I mean, there's so many people where it's also like, at least in Delhi, right, where I was at, like it seems like these things are really not that scary. There's just a lot of people. There's a lot of military as well. There's a lot of presence. So it's really one of those things where just as many people might make it scary, there's also just as many people to sort of defend against that in a way. We're just get stared at a lot. That was kind of strange. I really was one of the like five white people I saw the whole time I was there, so that's fair.
Yeah, and I mean, you're not like the tallest man in the world, but you're not short either.
That would be a misconception about India, though. It does. Obviously, you're right because I'm still tall, so I stick out. But like, India is I would say India is a very mixed bag of people like America in height. I would say you're just as likely to see. I think my brother-in-law is actually a little bit taller than me. Yeah, so I think he's like a clean 6'2", 6'3", whatever. Um,
I'm seeing average Indian heights listed right around 5'5" for men.
yeah, but I mean, what's the average American height? I guess is
It's closer to 5'8", I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so I would say that there was a lot of tall.
5'9" is the current.
Okay, so I would say there's a lot of tall people, but there was, I guess, also a lot of short people.
I guess maybe that depends if you're in a more populated area. Obviously, you're going to run into more.
Yeah, I would say we went to this mall a lot, and I would say it wasn't hard for me to be fairly in the same area the whole time.
Was it funny? Was it funny to travel halfway across the world to go to a mall a bunch of times?
Yeah, I mean it was, but like I always knew this was about the family thing, meeting the family. But like, yeah, it was. It was like I said. I'm okay with it. I think some people would be. I've been to Los Angeles a million times at this point. Whatever.
I mean, you definitely went there with a purpose, and the purpose happened. So
the first time I went to LA, I didn't do shit but meet her family, like her parents and shit, like formally, and like her close friends and stuff. Like that was all we did, right? We focused the whole, like I didn't go sightsee anything really, other than I think Santa Monica, and that was mostly the Visual Week shop. So like it was just one of those things.
You're just a big Everclear fan.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of Santa Monica ones, but yeah. So yeah, in LA, it's fun. I get to go there. I'm privileged to go there enough, in my situation, uh, to have family that lives there. It makes it easier. But like for India, we have the same excuse. It's just harder because it's 18 hours. You really need to go like 2 weeks at a time.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, to
You know,
even scratch the
so
surface.
but this one we needed to squeeze into a week. So I'm excited for all the future trips as well. But this was a great introductory one. But yeah, if you have any other questions about it, I got you guys. But that's pretty much it. Like I said, it was a lot of family time.
Yeah, I think the only thing, just because my knowledge is so limited, is that I would just want to do one of those long ass cross country train rides, which obviously you can do
Yeah.
here, but I'd like to see
I think
the
that's
Indian
probably a
sights
great
that
one.
way.
That's actually a really good one to do because
Thanks,
I
Wes
think
Anderson.
yeah, I mean that was something that I think is funny to see. Is like I don't think you see a lot of promotion for Wes around there, but I do feel a lot more comfortable with Indian things because of Wes Anderson movies. So I think he's done a pretty good job of somewhat making his versions of reality look like what they do or what it's
um,
actually like.
my last probably specific question for today would be, how many live sitars did you get to see? Any? Did you see any single person playing one?
Nah,
Not
damn.
even at the
Actually,
mall.
no, because the mall's so
There's
fucking
no,
American.
no kind of buskers.
No, it's just so modern, bro. I don't even think. I think that I may have. I saw some really cool like art where people like use like all the different Indian specific instruments, the drums. There's also like a xylophone looking thing.
Hmm.
Those they had like sort of miniatures of those that you could like put on a stand or something. But no, I don't think I ever saw a live one of any of those. Yeah, unfortunately. I did
Um,
want to, and that's stuff I will try to. I didn't even get to go into my actual. One of my goals was to go see a temple or a few temples, because I mean, I really like to see old stuff, and so Delhi was a fun place for that. But you know, it's a metropolitan city. You're going to New York City. It's
is
more
there
metropolitan than anything else.
is their mall playing Drake, or do they got their own bangers that they're running through there?
That's a fantastic question. So the mall was playing some
Oh yeah.
wild stuff. I was stunned to walk into country music once. That was absolutely stunning.
I mean,
I don't,
is it like American like top pop country? Because that's
I
just the
don't know
same
because I
as,
don't listen to country, but
I guess,
yes, I would
just the
assume
sound of it. Yeah,
because the
it's just hip hop, but the person singing has a southern
so a
accent.
lot of it was very processed pop music. It so one of my favorite things was fuck. I don't think it wasn't "Come as You Are," but it was like one of the other singles from Nevermind, not "Smells Like Teen Spirit," but it was one of those, and it was like a pop girl rock version of it,
I'm into
and that
that.
one cracked me up. But yeah, it was just kind of stuff like that, and then I think it would be a little bit of Indian music, but it really wasn't. It really was more just America's, UK's top 100,
That's
whatever
too bad.
bullshit. Yeah. I mean, the stores themselves might be playing different things, but the outside part was, yeah, just generally very, very modern mall. Like they had a rip-off Harry Potter shop in the middle, like 3 Starbucks. I was honestly surviving off McDonald's for a while because like eating the food at home was great because you have like they had like a chef there to make food and it was really good, but like it's also a lot of different things that I don't usually eat. And so it was kind of like nice to have your like go-to meals. Like just having a McChicken was a really nice
Oh yeah, I should
stomach
ask
cleanser.
also, because most international McDonald's have some kind of twist, local twist on the menu.
Yeah, theirs was I guess what you would call an aloo burger. There also was some other ones like they do this stupid celebrity thing, and theirs was really bad from what I heard. Um, There was another burger that was like a double one that had like this other sauce on it that was really good. I don't know if that's unique to them. But yeah, Aloo Burger is just a
The
vegetarian burger.
Ranveer Singh meal.
Yeah, that guy. It was so bad. Apparently,
The food or the guy?
that
Oh, it's
particular
a veggie burger.
that particular meal apparently people did not enjoy.
Oh, I also guess I didn't think about. There's probably a lot of people who don't eat beef there, huh?
Yeah, so beef you can get. Beef would be a little difficult for the most part in a mainstream place, especially like a McDonald's. They wouldn't bother with it. Um, Depending on where you are. But it's also like there's plenty of Muslim population, so like if you go over to places that are more heavily Muslim, then you'll have beef options there more often, and then you'll have less pork options, obviously. So it's
I
just
don't know that I've ever seen a McDonald's menu that doesn't have beef on it. I never thought about it before.
yeah. And it was just
Wild.
McChickens, yeah, spicy McChicken or McChicken for the most part. Were your
You can get
options.
the
No
Michelou Tiki Burger.
Interesting.
Try out a veggie
Uh,
patty.
Yeah, that one, the Alu Tiki, yeah, that was what it was.
Makalu.
Yeah, that one was good for the vegetarians. I did not try it though.
Pizza McPuff. I could get into that.
I did not see that one on the one we were at in the mall, but maybe I was gonna try like Taco Bell and KFC, but there was like some stupid thing where I had to go turn in my rupees for a fucking card to pay for stuff, and I was just like, no, that's annoying.
Desserts look
Don't
the
do that.
same.
It was also
Do they even have soda?
yeah. I had a Sprite actually most of the time I was there, or Coke. Yeah, they have like different
Watch
ones.
me at the McDonald's.
Yeah, at the McDonald's. Yeah.
Okay.
If you go to like out, you would instead of Coke, you have like thumbs up, and maybe you would have like
They just
7-Up
don't
instead of
list.
Sprite.
They don't list soda on their menu at all, so I didn't know if it was actually there. It's like all coffee.
Yeah,
drinks.
I don't know if it's different, but yes, the soda machine was normal there.
When I went to the McDonald's India page, it had me pick between North and East or South and West. So I went with North and East because I assumed that would be your region.
Yeah, and you know what I know is the best thing that you guys would be surprised with? Mango ice cream.
I would not be surprised. I've had it and I love it.
I don't think I would.
That, mango
I
is
love mango ice cream.
yeah, and so they love mango is very popular there, and I had some mangoes there, and it was incredible. They were so sweet.
mango
That I
lads
was
is like a big time drink over there, right?
I don't know if I had that as a drink, but yeah, I'm sure. I mean, mangoes were a big deal. They brought like a whole fucking thing in one day, and we just like sucked on them, and they were the sweetest fucking. Like I can usually crush a few mangoes myself, just if I'm really motivated. There, it was so hard to finish one because they are just so much sweeter than I've ever had before.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Listen, if there's one thing all different types of brown people love, it's mangoes.
Yeah,
All
I guess
right?
that's fair.
Us Mexicans, we got our we have our God, what the fuck? Why am I drawing a blank on it? It's like a spicy mango dish that I cannot think of. Why can I not think of it?
I know what you're talking about, but I have no idea what that's called. I would just call it a spicy mango.
Yeah,
mango with tahini, right?
Mango con chile.
Yeah.
The
tahini and some other stuff.
Chamoyada. If Steffi can
Chamoy,
hear me, she's really mad right now.
Tahini and chamoy. Just be like, yo, Stephanie, what's the name of this thing? Oh, mango nuts. That's what I'm talking about.
Spicy
so you have like a mango nut with some chamoy. Yeah, there you go. I don't know why it took me so long to think about that. We have mangonadas. I mean, we have like spicy mango flavored candy as well in Mexico.
Yeah.
So
very popular.
Dude, just random fruit trees everywhere. That was crazy to see. That was actually another thing I don't think you guys would appreciate enough about America is we just don't
where you live.
Much. Maybe true, but like I mean, literally, you would have like plums and.
No, I got you. It's just we're in
all in
DFW.
They lived in. You're just like. But this is like a metropolitan area.
I know, but.
So yeah. Other than that, I mean, I need to see more of it to give you guys more. But that was my initial trip and voyage. Like I said, the apartment part made that a little more painstaking than it needed to be. I think the only other fun part about India that I didn't mention at this point for the pod is the time difference and me keeping up with American stuff, sports, news, whatever. But we'll get into that when we get to basketball. That's where it's.
Dang, I just looked at the population density. That's crazy. 34 million people.
A lot of people do it.
Yeah. Nice. All right.
All right. Well, I think that'll wrap up this little segment here for now. We'll get.
I'll bring the KURTA game next week, people. I'm sorry. I'll wear KURTAs forever. I promise. Honestly.
Forever.
I really will. I really can't tell you more. Just do it. It's 100% cotton. It's real good shit.